Good afternoon. I'm speaking to Dr. Pieter Mulder. He's a former parliamentarian and someone who knows the history of the parliament very well. And the reason we're talking to him is in regard of the fire that broke out at the parliament. Good afternoon, Pieter.
Good afternoon, Isa.
Let's start off with that obvious question. Do we know so far what the extent of the damage is?
Not really. There's a lot of speculation at the moment, and I think Parliament is making a mistake to think they can hide it. In the end, everything will come out, but they have to know what happened. And we don't get information. They say it's not that serious, and then suddenly I saw some photos that look very serious. And some of the Cape Town people in fire brigade said there's millions and millions of rands that have to be scouted out. So I think the alternative will be maybe months to record and to get it back where it was in the old condition, if they can be done, and millions of rand that we don't have. But at the moment, there's a lot of speculation, but not really information.
From the photos that you have seen, can you ascertain what parts of the parliament have been affected?
Yeah. Well, I saw some of the photos from aerial photos, and that gives you an idea. And I know the parliament quite well. I was there for 30 years. It was my place of work. And the specific area is the old parliament. If you call it old parliament, that goes back to 1875. And it was the parliament of the Cape of Good Hope. And that was the original parliament that was started in 1910. It was used for the union. And later on, some new parts were built. The new assembly was built later on. So it started over there. And that's quite serious in the sense that the beautiful library there, the second chamber is there, the chamber of the province and the National Council of Provinces is there. And then also the old National Assembly is there. But it seemed that the fire then went over to the new part. And they talk about the ceiling that fell in of the new part. And that's quite serious because then there must be damage, a lot of water damage to the new assembly where we should have opened parliament in a month's time. Yeah. So I saw a photo there that looks very bad, but it's difficult to guess exactly what it is. Yeah.
Peter, can you give us a sense of the historical value of the damage that you are aware of at the moment?
From a historical point of view, and I like politics, but also like history, and a lot of things happened in there, and it's just, those walls can tell a story. I'm an African speech was made there by Mbeki. The whole negotiations on the constitution, the final constitution, 1996 one, that was done in the old assembly. The old assembly, that was the one where the ANC caucus has been for the last 25, 27 years. So surely there's a lot of faction fights that were taking place there. And so I can continue things that happened there. A lot of international visitors visited us there. The Queen Elizabeth was there. Bill Clinton was there. Mr. Arafat spoke to us there. Castro was there. So surely it is in that sense an important thing. And it's not only the past, it's also the past before 94. It's important history that was there, but also what happened afterwards. So in that sense, it's very sad that we might lose the building or will not be able to get that back. But in part of the symbolism of democracy, there's also a lot of historical things there, pictures, documents, and those things with a lot of historical value, and they cannot be replaced. And that's the bad part. And they can't be replaced, as far as I'm concerned. And once you lose them, they're lost forever.
Can you tell us about some of the specific items that you know that could have been damaged?
Well, you see, for example, there's a beautiful tapestry. They call it the Keskama tapestry. It was embroidered by Xhosa women. It's 120 meters long, and it's against the walls near to the old assembly. And it's fascinating to look from their perspective. It's their history as they saw it from the Skoy and the Sun period up till 1994 in pictures. And surely I think that must be lost. That's work that's been done that cannot be replaced in that sense. There's a book up there, 2 books. An old lady said her contribution to the First and Second World War, she couldn't contribute otherwise. And she wrote the names of every South African, black and white, that was killed in those wars in calligraphy, if I could pronounce it, sievskrift. Every name is written, and those books were in Parliament, and they laid there. And then the whole idea, every day it's open. One page is paged over so that everybody get a chance to be recognized for the sacrifice that they paid. I think that must be done. We got the moon rock that was a present from the American president and NASA to South Africa. I'm not sure whether that survived actually in the box, and that was there. The whole debate on 1930 women's vote, and the white woman was fighting for the vote. and all the documents was there with the whole thing. And so I can continue. There's beautiful pictures there. 1947, Parliament was opened by the King and the Queen. Jan Smuts brought them over to help with the election for 48. And there's almost 3 meter plus a picture that was painted of everybody. And you see Queen Elizabeth as a princess sitting in the gallery. You can recognize her. I don't think that survived. So I can continue on that base. And that's sad that those things might be gone and you can never ever replace them again. And that's sad, yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Pieter Mulder, former parliamentarian that have been speaking to us about the fire at the Parliament.